Is an example of a woman who broke barriers in history. There were many barriers broken in history, one of which was gender equality. Many women were fighting for women's rights, but most importantly, Susan B. Anthony. She was an American writer, lecturer, and abolitionist who was the leading figure in the women's rights movement. Susan B. Anthony was very devoted when it came for fighting for what's right. For example, she was an abolitionist. She believed that what they called darkies were human too. She was born into an anti-slavery family. Her family influenced her to work to free slaves. They were all part of the abolitionist movement. At age 17, she was collecting petitions for the anti-slavery. Susan B. Anthony once said, "Trust me, that as I ignore all law to help the slaves, so I ignore it all to protect an enslaved woman." Although she worked to free slaves, she was even more to free women slaves. Susan B. Anthony also wanted the production of alcohol to be stopped, hence being in the temperance movement. The temperance movement was all about alcohol and why it must be canceled. Anthony was denied to the right to speak at the state convention of the Sons of Temperance in Albany. After that, she created her own Women's Day Temperance Society with Elizabeth Cady Stanton, another woman leader. Anthony was dedicated to fight for women's rights while fighting in the temperance movement. Susan B. Anthony was a leading figure in the American women's voting rights movement. She played a prominent role in the women's suffrage movement. She was one of the most visible leaders in the women's suffrage movement. She is well known for being a key leader in the women's rights movement and suffrage movement. She formed a sense of peace and equality in her early childhood. She wanted things to be fair for everyone. She was a leader in the women's rights and suffrage movement. In conclusion, Susan B. Anthony is an example of a woman who broke barriers in history. She fought for what she believed in and fought to the end. She did not give up on equality or her dreams. She made a big impact in the world. With other people to stand with her, she believed she could accomplish anything. And she managed to allow women to vote in racial, gender, and education equality. Susan B. Anthony has a very important role in history. She was a great and devoted person.